Whether you are broke, wealthy, comfortable, regardless of your current financial status, there is one problem that we all have in common, and today I'm going to give you the solution. Hey there, thanks so much for watching today. My name is Kristen. I am a blogger, a YouTuber, and an online money mentor. And I want to talk to you today about this one problem that all of us deal with at some point or another. Some of us a lot more than others, and that is discontentment. How many times have you felt completely happy with your life, and then you see somebody else who has a better car than you, or a better house than you, or better clothing than you, and before you know it, your opinion of your own life and all of the things that you have starts to decrease and decrease and decrease, and before you even realize it's happening, you're feeling miserable, you're feeling left out, you're feeling less than. Have you experienced that? I know I have. A lot. Over and over and over for years and years and years. It's super common. We all feel discontent with at least some part of our lives at some time. If this is you, if you've struggled with this, if you've been suffering with this problem for a long time, you are not alone. And believe it or not, there is a solution for this, but it's going to take a little bit of work on your part. Leave me a comment. Let me know if this is something that you struggle with, if this is something you've ever experienced, or if you're some kind of unicorn and this is something you never experienced. I definitely need to hear from you. Now, let's just be clear. There's nothing wrong with wishing you had something that somebody else has. There's nothing wrong with wanting something better for yourself, or better for your life, or better for your family. But this really becomes a problem when those emotions and that wanting and that longing for more makes you completely dissatisfied with what you currently have. And once you become dissatisfied with what you currently have, you're always going to feel as though you don't have enough. And when you're feeling like you don't have enough, that is going to just keep perpetuating this feeling of discontent. It's going to keep you focused on what others have and keep you fixated on what you feel you don't have. And it really perpetuates this vicious cycle that almost begins to feel like a sickness of some sort, right? This chronic illness that you're dealing with over and over and over, and you just can't shake it. And every time you start to feel better, boom, it comes and knocks you over again. The cure for this sickness is simple. In fact, it's so simple that you may hear what I have to say, and you may immediately discount it as being too woo-woo, or being clickbait, or being something that just would never work for you. Hear me when I say this works. This absolutely works. It takes some time, it takes some persistence, it takes some consistency. The antidote to discontentment is simply gratitude. I told you it was simple. The solution is gratitude. But not just saying I'm grateful. Gratitude over the past couple of years has really had a moment. Just saying I'm grateful, just sitting around the Thanksgiving dinner table, taking turns, sharing something that you're grateful for in life, in my opinion, is very different than the practice of gratitude. When I'm referring to gratitude as being a solution to this problem of discontentment, to this problem of feeling like you don't have enough, of feeling dissatisfied, of feeling unfulfilled with your life, your belongings, your relationships, I'm referring to gratitude as an action, as an action that we physically take to make a change in our life, okay? I can give you a couple of ideas of how you can practice gratitude, but there really is no right way or wrong way. What I like to do to practice gratitude is when I first wake up in the morning and I realize I'm awake, the very first thought I get is, wow, I made it through the night. I'm grateful that I made it through the night and I woke up this morning. I lay there for a few minutes and then I try to think in my mind a couple things I'm grateful for. Now, if I'm really, really tired, those couple things often sound like grateful for my cozy bed, grateful for the warm fuzzy socks I have on my feet because it's cold in here, and grateful that I get to lay here for a couple more minutes before I need to get out of bed and start my day. Simple, right? It can be super simple. It does not have to be anything big and intricate. It doesn't have to be anything super heartfelt. The point is, we want to make the practice of gratitude deliberate, consistent. We want to make it a habit, so it's something that we don't even necessarily think of. And when we want to create a new habit, it's actually a good idea to start off really small. So if you were to start off this gratitude practice by telling yourself, I need to get a gratitude journal. I need to sit down for 30 minutes every day and fill 10 pages with all the things I'm grateful for, and they need to be very deep and very heartfelt. You're gonna stick with that practice for like one day, right? It's not gonna stick, it's too much. Thinking of a couple things in your head, I mean, if you want to, you can even say them out loud, it doesn't matter. You could say them in the form of a prayer if you're religious and you're somebody who likes to pray in the mornings. Again, it doesn't matter at all. The point is, a consistent daily practice of gratitude over time is going to make your heart so full and so incredibly grateful for all of the things that you have and the people you have and all of the things that you are and everything in your life, that eventually it's going to take up all the room in your heart and your head, and there's going to be very little room left for all of these negative feelings, all of these envious feelings, all of these feelings of not being enough or not having enough. They're not going to have any space. They're not going to have any space to live rent-free in your heart or in your head anymore. Now, that's not to say you will never have those feelings, because you will. We're human beings. It's a natural human instinct to covet what our neighbor has, right? It's just life. However, once you are so focused on gratitude, once you understand how to truly practice gratitude day in and day out, those feelings, they'll come and they'll go. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and I can't remember for the life of me what podcast it was because I listened to a billion of them. But in this podcast, the host said something to the effect of, when you practice gratitude, it takes away anxiety because our human brain is physically unable to process the emotions of anxiety and gratitude at the same time. So that duality simply physiologically cannot exist in your brain at the exact same time. I found this so interesting, and I immediately, of course, tried to disprove this and think of any time that I felt very anxious and grateful at the same time. And I wasn't able to think of any. I realized that wishing you had the things that your friend has isn't necessarily anxiety, but I do believe it leads to anxiety, or it can cause anxious feelings. Feelings of being anxious that we'll never be able to have what they have, or we'll never be able to be as good enough as they are, or as smart enough as they, all the things. So I really, truly believe if you're able to create and strengthen and nurture this habit of gratitude, that eventually you are going to notice your feelings of discontent being lesser and lesser and lesser. Maybe you don't even like that idea of thinking of things in the morning. Maybe you're half dead when you wake up in the morning and you have no conscious thoughts. Try jotting them down on a piece of paper instead. Piece of paper, notebook, whatever it is, write down 3 to 5 things you're grateful for. Again, it doesn't matter what they are. It really doesn't matter. It's not about the actual things that you're grateful for. It's more about trying to cultivate this attitude of gratitude in your life. It's more about being able to take something that on the surface feels negative and go a little deeper and think about how something that may be initially perceived as negative could actually benefit you in some way, could actually benefit someone else in some way, could actually be looked at in a positive light instead. Another way I like to practice gratitude is when I'm meditating, when I'm praying, when I'm listening to worship music, when I'm in church. My very favorite way to practice gratitude is when I'm driving in the car alone, which doesn't actually happen enough. But when it does, as much as I love a good audiobook or a good podcast, I also really enjoy turning everything off, driving in complete silence, and just having this conscious stream of gratitude. Sometimes I'll even say things out loud since I'm by myself, and it helps me keep my ADHD brain focused on what I'm trying to do instead of like bird, squirrel the whole time I'm driving. I'll start off by saying out loud or thinking in my head, I'm so grateful that I have this vehicle that keeps me safe, that gets me where I need to go, that allows me to do the things I need to do in life, that keeps me from having to stand out in the elements waiting for a bus or a taxi, that is reliable, that doesn't leave me broken down on the side of the road. Just kind of this brain dump stream of conscious gratitude. It doesn't matter if it makes sense, it doesn't matter what I say, but I notice as I'm doing this, the feelings of gratitude become almost palpable. I can sense a physiological change as I'm driving, as I'm doing this, in my body, in my breathing, in my thought patterns. It just makes you feel really good about your life. So if journaling is not for you, you could try this stream of consciousness. You could try it when you're driving, you could try it when you're working out, you could try it when you're walking your dog. Anytime that you have a little bit of extra time that your mind is free to focus solely on gratitude is a good opportunity to try this out. Before I leave you today, I just want to quickly mention that there is nothing wrong with wanting more in life. Again, the issue comes when that wanting more makes you feel much less satisfied or grateful with what you currently have. Personally, I have really big goals for my life. A lot of those goals revolve around money. Some of those goals revolve around tangible physical things. Some of those goals revolve around self-development and growing different relationships in my life. There's nothing wrong with wanting more and having big goals and dreams. It's so important that while you're striving to reach those goals and realize those dreams, that you also remain grounded in that attitude of gratitude day in and day out, so that you're still able to live a happy, fulfilled, and joyful life along the way. I hope that resonated with you in some way. I hope this message will stick with you next time you're starting to feel dissatisfied and discontent with where you are and what you have in life. Please go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of this video. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful that you decided to click on this video today. I would be really grateful if you considered subscribing to my channel so you can be part of my little family here on YouTube. I would love to have you. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.
I'm buzzing, let's drink up. Your death look like big fun. Come on, let's get it on. Like that Marvin Gaye song. I'm stunned.